Hi, it's David from Switchaboo. We've got Nick here from the team that made Soundfall. How are you, Nick?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Good, thank you. So Soundfall has received like a really good reception at the conference. There's a lot of people at the booth. Like, what has your response to this?
It's great to see. I mean, we spent like 2 years making the game so far and hadn't announced it till recently, and we don't know what people are going to think. I mean, we think it's great, but it's really putting it in front of people is what really tests your idea, and seeing people gravitate towards it like makes us feel like we've been on the right track.
What have been the sort of most fun reactions that you've seen out of the people that have come to play it so far?
When people start dancing while they're playing, that's one of my favorites. So sometimes we'll try to like sneak video of that and like post that to social media. So
yeah, and you dance with them like in the background as well, or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Beautiful. So first of all, tell us a little bit about what Soundfall is and what your guys' aim was with Soundfall.
So Soundfall is a rhythm-based dungeon crawler where the dungeons are procedurally generated based on the music. And so it's as if you are entering the physical representation of that song that you're playing. And while you're in there, the whole world reacts to the music, and you as a player are rewarded for doing your actions to the beat of the music as well.
That's very cool. So when you say procedurally generated, therefore the actual worlds themselves aren't created before you launch the song, is it? Or
it's basically when you pick the song, it runs a series of audio analysis algorithms, and from there, we determine a whole bunch of attributes of the song and try to figure out what type of environment best fits that song, and then basically take a bunch of level chunks that are like kind of like Lego blocks, imagine, and build them together to try to make a level that we think fits the mood of the song.
Very cool. Tell us about a few of these Lego blocks. Like, what do they look like when we go look at them?
So basically, like small squares or rectangles that like can stitch together in cool and interesting ways. And then within those, there's different ways that they can configure themselves, and different attributes of music might yield like different types of things within those, such as maybe more or less encounters, the types of enemies you'll see, the type of loot drops you'll find, things like that.
Yeah. Now, tell us a bit about, so when we looked at the trailer, we saw that there was a lot of visualizers and stuff in the background that was sort of pumping away as you play the game, and actually to the beat as well. Was that something that was always intended to be there, or was it
Absolutely. So, first of all, we want it to feel like, music visualizer, sort of like you're playing the game, even if you're just kind of standing still, the world needs to feel alive. It needs to feel like you are physically in the song. And also that kind of helps you as a player, like with everything reacting to the beat, it helps you find that beat, whether it be like consciously as in focusing on something or like subconsciously, kind of keeping the tempo.
Yeah. And you notice the people dancing, so obviously it's really infiltrated their subconscious.
It helps a lot. I mean, if you're dancing in the game or tapping your foot even, it helps a lot in keeping the beat. So
yeah. So how did you guys choose the music behind the game?
Well, we're trying to like get a wide variety of genres included in our soundtrack as far as like original music goes. So we've been basically just listening to a lot of stuff online and trying to find artists that we think that are kind of like up and coming, that we think would be great fits across a variety of different genres.
Oh, beautiful. Any artists that you want to name in particular, or?
So I'll talk about our demo right now. The two DJs that we have for our demo songs are DJ Stridon and Jovian. And if you've gotten a chance to play, you see like tracks generate a pretty cool like variety of environments and stuff. So they're pretty fun to play. And for the demo, we've been focusing on stuff that has a very easy to find beat. It's very obvious. In the full game, you're going to see stuff that's a little more tricky to find.
Right. So like lots of syncopations and lots of really complicated stuff.
Exactly. Like if something has a really like strong regular bass line, that's going to be a lot easier to play, especially if you're like a first-time player.
Yeah.
So we're trying to like ease people in, but in the real game, you'll get a variety of genres and a variety of difficulties.
So tell us about the team behind Soundfall. So you've got you, Nick, and you're Nick. Got you,
we actually do have another Nick as well.
Okay, cool. I didn't make a mistake there. Tell us about your team. What banded you together to make this game, and who are you guys?
So me and Julian are the co-founders of the company, and we're like the two full-time team members. We met working at Epic Games together. Eventually decided to break off and start Drastic Games. And aside from that, we've got a bunch of awesome talent that we've contracted in to help with various things like our our concept art and sound effects, and obviously the music and character modeling and stuff like that.
Yeah, beautiful. So with the story, so from the trailer, the main protagonist seems to be wearing headphones, and then they enter this world, which is beautiful and fantastic, full of music. Tell us a bit about the world of Soundfall and the story behind it.
So in Soundfall, the first character you start as is Melody, who's like kind of ends up becoming the lead of kind of an ensemble cast. Think of like your Leonardo or your Red Ranger, and she's kind of like a audiophile who gets mysteriously transported into Symphonia, which is a world that is the physical embodiment of music.
Yeah.
And as you kind of see in the trailer, she puts her headphones on and kind of just falls into this world. And, she discovers while she's there that it's kind of being encroached upon by this dark, ancient force, the Discordians.
Yeah.
And in order to find out how to get back into the real world, she ends up having to fight through them.
I love the names all of them. They're really cool. Melody, Symphonia, Discordians. It's wonderful.
Yeah, trying to keep it all music themed.
Yeah. Is the major boss called Hearing Loss or something like that?
Well, no, probably not, but we'll see.
Yeah. So, using beats in the platform is a really, really unique mechanic. Can you tell us a bit more about this mechanic and how it affects the way that you play the game?
Yeah, so the mechanic actually kind of came about from playtesting with a small group of friends local to us, and they're like, oh, I wish I could do something on beat, because everything else is acting on beat. So we tried that, and we prototyped it really quick, and they loved it, so we kind of moved forward with that. Yeah, so basically, when you do things like firing your gun or swinging your sword or evading, each one of those actions is enhanced in some way if it's on beat versus off. So your ranged weapons will be approximately twice as powerful and won't overheat your weapon. Your sword swings will be longer range, and you'll be able to chain a combo together, and your dashes will have 0 recovery time, and you can just chain those together and just dart around the level as fast as you want.
Yeah. Is there how big is the range for when you have to hit that beat? For example, if you're not very good at hitting beats, is it really tricky? Or
we're pretty generous with what we consider on beat. So we're still, we'll probably continue tuning that throughout development based on feedback and stuff. Now that we're really exposing it to a lot of people, here at PAX. But we leave it pretty generous because there's a lot going on in the game. You're not just trying to hit the beat. You're trying to avoid attacks. You're trying to attack enemies. You might be trying to solve puzzles. So you're kind of multitasking a lot. So
have you ever thought about letting people upload their own music to the game and then go into their own beats, given that it's procedurally generated as well?
Oh, absolutely. So there's obviously a lot of trickiness there with the legal side of things, but as far as things go, we've been talking to some streaming services and record labels about letting us giving us license to import things, and also so that streamers and YouTubers on the on the user end can upload and stream their content and not get in legal trouble for that. So that's something we're continuing to work on, but we're going to make sure that whatever type of music you like to play, you'll be able to hopefully find something like that in the soundtrack and pull it from external sources.
Wow, that's really radical.
We'll have a lot more details on that in the near future, but we're going to keep working on it, keep building out that track list.
I look forward to listening to a lot of the indie soundtracks, but also being able to rickroll people via Soundfall.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's super important to us.
So with the art actually reminds me a little bit of the iOS game Transistor. Alex commented before that it reminded him of sort of Disney. What's the art style behind Soundfall? Where does it get its inspirations from?
Well, those are actually big influences of ours as well, and really flattering comparisons, especially Transistor. We love the Supergiant games.
Yeah.
But we wanted something that was very bright, vibrant, colorful, and energetic. Kind of traditionally rhythm games are very upbeat and high energy and very colorful and flashy. And we kind of wanted to bring that into Soundfall as well to kind of preserve that,
So it's tradition. An eye-gasm as well as an ear-gasm. It's
exactly.
Of everything.
Yeah.
So I noticed that. So you mentioned that before that you were from Epic Games, who are obviously well known from Fortnite, Gears of War, but also for their engine, Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
So what learnings from your past experiences at Unreal Engine have you taken and sort of implemented into your game now?
Oh, just about everything. I spent the majority of my career working at Epic Games before breaking off to start our own thing.
Oh,
so obviously, we learned Soundfall is built in Unreal, so we know Unreal very well because of our past experience. And I think the biggest is learning how to make like moment-to-moment gameplay that's super crunchy and gratifying. Every sword swing, every shot of the weapon to feel like super like fun to do, like really crunchy, like every time should feel great.
Right, so like every time you like maybe hit a beat, there's a little bit of a screen shake or something like that.
A little bit of screen shake, a little bit of rumble, like a little bit of like pause in the animation when things impact and make it feel extra like powerful.
That's really exciting. So you guys were software developers for Unreal originally, was it? Or was it more on other aspects of project management or
we were on the game side. So Julian came from a level design background, and I came from a gameplay programming background.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah. So tell us a little bit of the process of development, because that would be really interesting. Not to get too much into specifics, but what's your sort of workflow and that sort of thing?
It's pretty crazy. So we're mostly our team is like remote. I'm kind of like my house is basically the central office, I guess. So sometimes Julian will come and we'll just crunch out something for like this demo over like a couple weeks or months. We basically do task tracking online and just talk on Slack constantly and do our meetings over Discord.
That's exciting, and everything is sort of combining like Blueprint and all those sorts of things from Unreal.
I end up doing a lot of work on the C++ side, and then we'll blueprint specific abilities or specific weapons, whereas kind of like the base level implementations are all in C++.
Yeah. Would you have any advice for people that are trying to get into the games industry, how they can get started with making games, what you would do differently?
First thing I would do is basically just start making small projects. Ideally, pick some super simple game, maybe like some kind of 80s arcade game or something, and just try to clone it. You're going to learn a lot just from trying to mimic someone else before you start adding in all of your wild ideas and stuff. And that'll be a really good baseline for when you maybe on the next project you start doing something that's really original. But just try to imitate something good and very, very simple, and don't overscope, and just keep building game after game and make sure you try to finish them out so that there's like a cohesive demo there to show people and be proud of.
That's awesome. This comes from a man with more than 10 years of experience. He's the veteran. So anything else that you'd like to say to our audience at Switchaboo?
Well, check out Soundfall, watch our trailer, and hopefully see us at the next expo.
Where's the best place that they can check it out?
Soundfallgame.com.
Cool. And when should we expect Soundfall to come to the Nintendo Switch?
We're aiming for late 2019.
Yep, beautiful. All right, so that's Nick from Soundfall and David from Switchaboo. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.